Stay strong. We're all rooting for you to finish the job and come home safe. By the way, I've made more progress in a certain investigation. It seems that Clifford Unger willingly put his own child in the care of the scientists conducting the BB experiments. But he did so completely unaware of their true intentions.
No, it was more like they filled him up with lead. No, wait, it means the pot that his child was in the entire time. Right.
This is pure speculation, but I think when Cliff found out about their plans, he attempted to reclaim custody. And after he failed, the BB remained in the program's care. In which case, he would have every reason to bear a grudge towards the president, the woman who allowed it all to happen, don't you think? But just because President Strand is dead, doesn't mean his hate died with her. No, I think he redirected it towards Bridges. Towards you and Amelie and anyone close to the director.
Not really. He used his anger to reach from the afterlife. To run from the afterlife towards BB. He needed the anger to get to BB.
And now that hate is driving him to set in motion the last Stranding, to bring an end to the world as we know it. Why else would Cliff hold Amelie hostage on the beach?
This makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. This is... everything that they have shown me goes even directly against this. Because everything was in the intent with he will stop it. Nothing to get to BB. So why would he destroy the world to get to BB? Maybe he is a Avenger spirit or a revenge spirit. Like, it's still doesn't matter. This is too much brain power that would be needed for it to happen. And if he had so much brain power, he would understand that that would kill BB as well. And there's no glimpse of hope like, yeah, when BB is dead, we will be reunited in the afterlife or anything like that. The game has actively shown me that that is something he doesn't want. He doesn't want to kill BB, he just wants to be with BB. And use a hellstorm to get to it.
There's no time to lose. You have to save her and the director. Though I still don't understand how he managed to travel to her beach in the first place.
Because he's wicked.
I'll see what I can find.
That is because he's one hell of a motherfucker. It's a good old trope of love is used to overpower everything. This is also why I meant that the brain power that would be needed for that supercell over there, right? It just makes no sense.
Got a moment, Sam? It's about the director. So there's no way he could have made the jump to Amelie's beach if they didn't share a strong personal connection, right? Well, I looked, and I couldn't see one. The network should have contained something, anything, but...
It's the mask. This is cheap, if it is the mask, because it's an element we got shown at the very, very end. It's absolutely cheap. It makes no sense even for Bridget to wear that mask in that cutscene. the purpose of the mask was never explained. Like, the only explanation we got it is to cover up a nasty burn gash. But then we suddenly saw Bridget wear that mask, and now everything is coming together. Ooh.
His entire life prior to his tenure with Bridges has been redacted. His name, his past, everything. There's no telling who he was. Which led me to consider another possibility. What if it isn't the director and Amelie who have a connection, but the director and Clifford Unger?
True. And that also makes even less sense, but let's go with that for a moment. You know, let's remember that he is the captain of Cliff Unger's squad, which is why I mentioned that it is very weird for him to also live like over 100 years. Because the game specifically told me that Cliff Unger lived hundreds of years ago. And possibly, no, that was speculation because, oh, crap. Okay, it makes halfway sense, because the way the game explained it was that the beaches that they had with World War I and World War II, they were hundreds of years ago. But it's, you know, Clifford was special forces. But now I made the realization that they only were saying that he was way back when. But I don't remember. I knew they dig up that he was special forces. But I don't remember if they mentioned a date of birth or age or date of disease. Something like that. So there is indeed a possibility that everything is way closer to our time than I thought.
And what if that connection is what facilitated the director's jump to Amelie's beach? If it's those two who have a personal history, then it might explain why Cliff is holding the director hostage as well. But even if that were the...
Why is Die Hard being held hostage? Like, this is why the beach scene confused me so much. Like, first thing we saw is him, Clifford, emerging from the seas, right, with his ghost soldiers. Then he wanted to shoot Die Hard, but when he saw Amelia / Bridget, he wanted to get BB from her. I still don't understand why he didn't just pop Die Hard and moved on. Maybe... Oh god, my brain is making the connection. Maybe he hoped to get BB from his captain, and he saw an even higher instance. This is dumb. Well, at least it makes a little bit of sense. But all of this would give him the intelligence of someone who wouldn't bring about the coming of a Death Stranding.
How the hell did the two of them end up on Amelie's beach?
Sam, Hartman here. There's something else I'd like you to consider. A guess, albeit an educated one, concerning Cliff's objective. Somehow, with the aid of the chiral network, our individual beaches have begun to coalesce, resulting in the formation of a single massive seam. Should this process continue, there is a risk that BTs will flood across into our world, bringing about a Death Stranding on a heretofore unprecedented scale. Now, Clifford Unger's battlefields and my own beach appear to be unaffected by this phenomenon, existing entirely in isolation.
Somewhat makes sense since his speech got changed when he had that heart surgery for some reason.
They do not and have never intersected with others. But what if there were another class of beach, one that exists on a higher plane, that was responsible for setting this process in motion?
Makes no sense. At least I would accept this more if there were hints of that prior, because to me beaches only were in two classes: the normal beach and the cataclysmic one. There is a possibility that an extinction entity could have a magical beach, but they could have brought that, or should have brought that in more with Higgs, that he can use the extinction entity's beach to control the other beaches. But Higgs only had the mask, which now I'm just gonna assume the mask gave him the ability to drag stuff through beaches. And it wasn't really his power, because then we can make the connection that the mask was possibly a token from Emily or Bridget to enable him and manipulate the world more to get it into this setting. That would maybe make sense. I wouldn't believe it still if the game is going for that, because it's just not what I was getting from the game. Yeah, to me he was just simply a gaming cringe lord that absolutely lost his marbles at the end. He was cool at the start and the mid game, and then towards the end he was just cringe. Sage. Anyways.
And what if the beach in question were none other than Amelie's? Cliff may have summoned the director, but I believe his true aim was to seize control of Amelie's beach, to exploit its power over every other beach, and trigger the last stranding. It's the only rational explanation for Cliff's actions, which is why you have to stop him.
The biggest question that I have right now, why is everyone referring to this as the last Stranding? What was missing in the previous ones to close this cycle? You know? Or is it simply the fact that life found a way to continue? Something like that. Who knows?
If Hartman's right, then we're in serious trouble. Using the chiral network in Amelie's beach to trigger the last stranding? That's why Higgs went after Amelie, wasn't it? If it was Cliff who put him up to it. Yeah, it all fits. With the last stranding, he'll finally have his revenge against the world that stole his life and his child.
I hope I didn't catch that right, because it just sounded like Clifford gave Higgs his power, or talked to Higgs to be that cringe lord, which wouldn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense. Ever since Cliff became a BT, he has never spoken a word in the entirety of this story.
You've got to stop him, Sam. You've got to make the jump to Amelie's beach as soon as possible. Get in and get her back. It's our only hope. If you can't, then we're all doomed.
Also, I want to mention, if you want to gotcha me on he has never spoken a word to another human, I don't think Emily is a human and BB is an object.